Hey guys, I am Tim. This is Nigel.
G'day.
We're coming at you from little old New Zealand, halfway around the world. It's a treat to be able to present via Zoom. It feels like we all pretty much live in the same place now, just on our computers. We are part of a small neighbourhood community in Morningside, in Auckland. Our ethos, our vibe is, how do we make Morningside the best place in the world to live? How do we be part of God's action infusing the neighbourhood?
All right, so one of the things that we did about 10 years ago was we started a little neighbourhood cafe. So it was a little 20-seat thing, and the whole point of the cafe was to make the neighbourhood a better place to live. And we did that through connection. So anything we could do to connect people together, through pride, anything we could do to make people feel proud to live in this neighbourhood of Morningside, and then empowerment. We were trying to give people who otherwise couldn't self-determine some job opportunities and things like that. And Crave has grown from this little thing into this sort of cultural icon in Auckland now of over 200 seats, and it's a good time.
When we were over with you last time, we were sort of talking about what's the next thing we're going to do. Like we've got Crave into a good place, and what are some other fun, different ideas? So we were talking about last time about Kind. So this is our mostly plant-based new vegan eatery. That's beautiful. It's green. And it's a lovely place to be. And so that was in action, and now it has fully landed.
Yeah, absolutely. And so Kind's set up to make the neighbourhood a greener and healthier place to live. So we are a mostly vegan, mostly plant-based cafe. So there's a beautiful vegan burger there alongside some Morningsider. And the idea with it is for ecological reasons, we know that the world can't eat the way that the West eats. And so we're just trying to reduce the meat consumption in the neighborhood. So our thing is we're mostly plant-based. We used to actually have bacon available as a side, just to kind of like, for people that are too freaked out, but we've since realized we don't even need that. And so we've got Crave and Kind as two cafes alongside each other. One's mostly plant-based, the other one's just a go for gold.
Another thing we also almost every year do is big street parties. So we have thousands of people from our neighborhood come, we put on a good feed. We try and just sort of enact a neighborhood at its best. People eating together, meeting their neighbors, having a good chat. But obviously for the last couple of years, eating together and having a good chat has been a very difficult thing. And so we changed a little bit how we did that. We did 100 meals in 100 homes. So we did food packs for people to have dinner with their neighbors in their own backyards. So with your own neighborhood.
Pretty cool. One of the cool things that happened since last time we were there was Stephen Colbert came to New Zealand, and Jacinda Ardern, this is her here, she's our Prime Minister. She picked him up from the airport. He says, Jacinda, take me to your favorite cafe. And you know where they went? They came to Kind. That's my wife there in the middle, Kathy. She runs Kind. And so it's pretty cool that our Prime Minister, who's a bit of a global celeb, would pick us as her key place to be. Now, her other staff actually say that Crave's better, but either way, we'll take it.
Either way. Another thing we were talking about last time we came over was Morningside. And at that point, it was just a fun, funky idea. We actually came up with the name Morningside when we were in Seattle, when I was there for the first time. We ended up at this place, Seattle Cider Co or something. And we were just playing with ideas. Maybe a cycle repair shop, Morning Cycle. Sounds a bit too much like tampons. But we ended up with Morningsider. So a cider company made of Morningside, Morningsider.
Pretty cool, eh? Now, one of the key things that we've done is we've created this urban apple orchard. There's no land in Morningside, so we've planted apple trees in backyards all around the neighborhood. And it's this kind of bigger story for everyone to better connect into. So neighbors and people, they've got a tree in their backyard and they're part of this thing. They're part of this thing that is cool to be part of, a bigger version of themselves, a meta-narrative. And it's nice for us to be able to, there's no land there, but to be able to do something. We pull some apples off there, we make a cider, but there's hardly any apples that come from it. But it's more around sort of the story that it represents.
Another thing that we are all about is like, how do we take what's already cool in our neighborhood and just make that even cooler? How do we take the things that are already happening and make them even better? So what was cool about Morningside was there was also always really cool street art from way back in the day. It was like sort of the origin of street art in Auckland. And so we were part of getting a few bits commissioned. You'll see the big creation of Adam that we got commissioned, and we've taken a bunch of those and put them onto our can label. So trying to highlight the epicness of our neighborhood as we export it to the world. When doing that, we're like, what we need is a little home for Morningsider. What we need is like just a little cider bar. Probably we just wanted to have a cool little bar as well. So we opened the Morning Cidery, little tap room, 12 different ciders, and we think it's just the best place for the neighborhood to come have their after work drink, meet, connect, have a good time together.
Yeah, man. So Morningside is just all around, the whole idea of the name comes from the neighborhood. We're trying to promote this neighborhood and it feels very subversive and awesome. So like we're going to a supermarket or to a bar down on the South Island and there's a Morningside there. It feels so cool. We're exporting our neighborhood to other places around the world. We actually even just literally exported Morningside to the UK. And so there are some Morningside cans on a boat right now heading over to the UK. You guys in Seattle, probably about time you started importing some Morningside there, right? Yeah, I reckon that'd be a good time. We're exporting our neighborhood to the world. All right, so another thing that we kicked off with just in the last year was started roasting and distributing in conjunction with some other kind of cool social enterprise cafes around the country, this thing called Common Good Coffee. And so it's epic, it's 3 times as good as normal coffee. We source it really well, it tastes really good, and we do really good things with our profits. So $5 a kilo, straight off the top, goes to work with some Kiwis in Kolkata who are helping women who have been trafficked to get out of the prostitution trade. And so we're really stoked to be have a global concern that kind of fits alongside our neighbor concern. And so Common Good Coffee, it's a good time.
And so last time we came to you, like, here's a couple of ideas that are in the works, we're hoping to make happen. So Kind, Morningside. And now we're like, the next idea that we have in the works is a co-housing project. One of the biggest issues in Auckland particularly, we've got one of the least affordable housing markets. And so we want to be part of using our resource, our skills and experience in providing good quality communal housing where people can live together, work together, and just have their own space.
That's cool. All right, so final shot. This is me and Tim sitting at Kind, having a coffee with some hot sauce.
When we weren't in lockdown?
We weren't in lockdown, but we are now. Hey, this is our sort of solidarity, but like all of us, we've been affected by this global pandemic. And like, no matter what country you're in, it's a thing. And so we're affected by it. Right now, New Zealand or Auckland's in level 4 lockdown. So, no one can go anywhere. But we know that you guys, particularly in Seattle, have had it harder than us. So solidarity, we're in this together. It's nice to be able to talk from the other side of the world. All right. Cheers, guys.